All right, let me see here. All right, it is 2:05. We might have a couple more people trickling in, but I'm going to pass things off to Deja to get us started with some announcements.
All right, thanks, Maggie. Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. I hope you're staying warm and just well. So what's new in 2022? We're halfway through January. The Artist Circle. So thank you guys for joining us. Every Sunday, we will be hosting weekly Artist Circle events. We are also launching our third cohort of the Young Curators programs. Applications are open until January 23rd. So if you or someone you know should be a part of this program, please send them our way to apply. The link to that is in the chat. I have just put it there. We are also coming in June, our first Young Curators Showcase. That is very exciting. If you want to know more, please go to the link and you can find more about that. We're very excited to share that with you all and welcome you all into that space. We have a new website on the way. We are all very excited about that to share with you all coming soon. So keep your eye out for our new website and a podcast. It's coming. Don't hold your breath because it's on its way. Okay, so we have a lot of great content coming for you all. We also will be sharing with you all a free gift NFT bibliography curated by the fearless artist here. If you did not sign up in Eventbrite, please drop your email in the chat so that we can collect that and make sure that you take advantage and get this free gift from us. So we're just very excited to have you all here with us for our third Artist Circle event. And I'm going to pass the virtual mic to Kiki. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. It's so good to see all of your faces. My heart is like exploding just seeing everyone as you pop up on the screen and in the chat. So this is an important group of people that we're just bringing together every week to talk about what is going on in the world of art. It's so many different aspects of it, and as it pertains to life, to living, to sharing, to cultivating, to becoming financially and economically resilient, to healing, to, all the many ways of which we can celebrate just living life. And that's what we're going to be trying to do each week. Like it really made sense to commit to convening every week, because at the end of the day, we all spend a lot of time trying to advance our stuff, and when we can, helping and listening to other people's stuff. But it's, I think, essential to be consistent and present for each other and know that this is like a place where you can find us, where you could just jump in, you can share what you have going on, you can put your shit in the chat, you can get your emails up, you can get your socials up in a moment. You know what I mean? You could come across people, just the right person for the thing that you're looking for, like in a moment. So we can, this is an international group, this is a national group, so we're taking advantage of this technology in this time. Obviously, we love to be together in person, but we are going to just keep moving forward and bring these topics together each week. And you guys feel free to propose a topic or a talk or some version of what you have going on that you think would be helpful for others, to be a service of their business or their well-being or whatever, their artistry. This is just like a beautiful session that we're just gonna have. And it's pretty loose. So we invite you to come, and today I have a really beautiful person that is I've known for over 14 years. This woman is a mentor and one of the most beautiful inside and out brilliant women that I look up to and always have supported every project that I've had and every um, idea to the point of its its manifestation in different forms. So it's really essential to bring people like this around so we could see our process, so we could see our journey, like we could gather whatever knowledge and information that they may have, and feel comfortable just speaking plain freaking English. This whole NFT space is super intense. Everyone, it does have a fever and a frenetic aspect to it, but I think that the fearless artist is about the people and about sort of coming to a easy, accessible way to discuss what's going on in these fields and make sure everyone can at least understand and decide to go down that rabbit hole if they want. But I will invite you guys, like I said, to participate in any way. And this is a great group and I appreciate you being here. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Kiki. Hi, everyone. This is Maggie, Operations and Partnerships Coordinator at the Fearless Artist. I just want to give you a little bit of an overview of our topic for today, all talking about NFTs, and then it will be my pleasure to introduce our featured speaker. So one conversation, or I suppose way back in 2018, TFA started having conversations at TFA Pop-Up about NFTs and cryptocurrency in the digital art space. And it's something we really were very excited to kind of bring back in TFA Pop-Up 2021 with our Art and Cryptocurrency Summit on December 1st. It was a really, really interesting day full of panels and events, and we really want to keep that momentum moving forward and continue these discussions into 2022. And one of these big topics is the idea of access and equity and opportunity within the NFT space. So I pulled up here, we have like two news articles just from the past 2 days that I just wanted to share with everyone. The first one really speaks to the idea of NFTs in the digital art space creating more access and opportunity. This is all about a 29-year-old who launched a business that supports and empowers Black NFT artists. So you see this as like a really great way to empower and create opportunity for people. But then there's also this, I guess, idea of, well, if you're kind of an outsider, you don't really know the space, like how do you join, how do you get into that, and how do you continue learning? And I wanted to share this one. There's a new restaurant coming to New York City in 2023 that requires a limited edition NFT ownership to be able to dine there. So there's a lot of interesting things happening in the space. Just wanted to share this news with you. You know, I will often just search NFT and look at the news articles that pop up, and there's always really new interesting things just daily showing up. And so I just wanted to share that with all of you. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker for today, Lila Plight. Lila collaborates with the best from the world of music, visual arts, fashion, sports, and more, helping collectors discover and collect truly unique creations by the most creative minds. She speaks on the topic of both NFTs and the metaverse, branding and packaging, and is an expert in the craft of multiverse tactical plans for all manners of creatives across multiple industries. She also produces content for a number of entities, including her own streaming app, which is really exciting. So today, Lila is going to be sharing more about her work and some upcoming projects that she has in the works. And then we have a couple of questions that were sent in by TFA community members that she's going to answer. So thank you so much, Lila, for joining us today. And I'm going to stop sharing and you can feel free to take it away. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Maggie, for that great introduction. Couldn't have said it better than myself. And Kiki, you know, I love you. Don't make me cry. That's why I have my little tissue with me. So yeah, Kiki and I go way back. Kiki's been rocking for a long time and she continues to rock. And I'm so proud of her and so happy for all of her success and all of the stuff that she's doing and bringing, creatives together. And I love the energy and it's just fantastic. So I'm just happy to be here. So I guess I'll kind of start and kind of tell you what we're not going to do. So, I want this to be very conversational. And I was asked that I want to share my screen and PowerPoint. I hate PowerPoint, okay, for the record. I hate it when people send them to me. I'm like, oh my God, it's the worst thing you could ever do is PowerPoint. So decks put together all day, one sheets, photography, just be creative. But PowerPoints, I don't do. So I want to make this conversational. I want you to ask me questions. Feel free to, just kind of pick my brain. I do this all day, every day. Aside from doing the things that I do to move my ideas forth or my creative energy or soul forth, I spend an inordinate amount of time just helping others realize their dreams. I think from the very first time I was in a play in kindergarten as the fairy godmother granting wishes. I've just been doing that my entire life. And a lot of people call me their godmother, their fairy godmother, still carrying on, all of that. So I think sometimes I get pissed off about it because I don't want to help. Like, oh, not today, leave me alone, go do your own thing. But I truly think that this is what I'm destined to do, is to help people. And I've kind of turned my whole speech or my whole mantra into getting people off the plantation. And I think that's what NFTs really allow folks to do, is the great equalizer, and helps you get off the plantation. It gets you, it enables you to leverage your creativity, to kind of commodify your creativity, your art, whatever it is you do, and move forth without being dependent on somebody else, being unbucked, unbossed, unbothered, untethered, all of that sort of thing. So NFTs are not new. It's been around for actually a long time. The whole digital world has been around for a long time. So a little bit about my background and how I fit into this space. I've been dabbling in the digital space since maybe 1994, 95. So that kind of give you an idea how old I am. But I've just been, dabbling in this space for a long time. And that came from just both a desire and just a necessity from, the job I was in. I worked for Viacom, and, prior to that, I worked in the telecommunications. So the space is not new. Me being involved in creating digital products or content for the web or content for, film, TV, whatever. So I've been doing that for a very long time. And probably was one of the first people to ever do a webcast of Summer Jam. So they, I brought it to the radio station, like, hey man, I met these crazy guys in San Francisco. They were like, look what we can do. We can broadcast over the web. We can stream. I'm like, you got to be nuts. And, they showed me what they were doing. They was all excited. I said, oh man, just think we could do this for Summer Jam. It'd be just kind of cool. And I did it. Radio station thought I was nuts. And now moving forward, iHeart has an entire digital division. So I'm just saying, was it me? It was me. Thank you. And I've worked for a number of other entities where my sole purpose was to create digital products, to do everything online, from digital magazines to creating apps to you name it. And maybe 10 years ago, I created trading cards for the NFL. So, this whole Top Shop thing is, it's not new to me. So, I love this space. It gives me great freedom. I think it gives most people freedom. You just kind of, you can expand. My whole life is not in the metaverse, but in the multiverse. So I do things both in the real world and in the other world. So that's a little bit of how I've got to be in the digital world. I've probably moved in, grooved in every facet of entertainment, and that's where I dwell. That's where I will continue to be. And now, expanding more and more into creating environments and experiences in the metaverse. So as we talk about NFTs specifically today, um, I was asked, or I was sent some questions, which I think kind of framed where I wanted to go. Instead it's like, okay, I said, how could I do this? We could kind of do it like FAQs, frequently asked questions, because that's pretty much what I deal with every day. Like people asking questions, how do I do this? How do that? And so I have 4 questions, which I think really kind of frame this whole conversation. So maybe we can start there. And then, people can jump in, ask me, no question is, a stupid one. I may not have the answer. I'll be like a professor I had at school. He would stop, said, and he would spin around and he said, well, that is a question to which I have no answer. So, I'm just gonna be brutally honest with you. And yeah, so let's just have a conversation. So I'm going to start with, we all know what NFTs are and what they aren't. And I guess the first question is, where do I begin? How do I make sure that my first drop will be successful? So where do you begin? Start with an idea, or better still, decide, why am I doing this? NFTs are not for everyone. You don't have to hop on board, just like in the visual art space or the entertainment space or creative space. There are gazillion things that you can do. There are a million ways for you to make money or to expose your art or commodify it. So NFTs are awesome, but they're not, for everyone. Just like people come to me, want to be a rapper, want to be a filmmaker, want to be a producer, want to be this, be that. It's just not for everyone. Find what drives you and what you're good at and what you're passionate about. And I'm not saying that you can't venture off and do other things. I'm just saying, think about, why do you want to create an NFT, and start there. Then decide, okay, why is this my NFT going to be better than the next person's NFT? Ultimately, how am I going to sell this thing? The easy part is, opening up a wallet, picking a platform or marketplace, minting the thing and selling it. That's the easy part. How are you going to sell it? How are you going to let people know that your NFT is worthy and is valuable and should be part of someone's collection? What are you going to do to create buzz around it? So that's the first question that you should ask yourself. How's it going to be successful? Marketing, 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 period. You got to promote it. You can't just, throw it out there and hope it sticks, or, stick it on OpenSea and hope that somebody sees it, or Rarible or whatever. You have to create some kind of buzz, create some community around it. You have a great community here with, the fearless artists, spread it amongst each other. Even if on the download, hey, if you buy mine, I'll buy yours, that kind of, it creates that kind of, ebb and flow, and creates a buzz and a drive, that's, you have to be dependent upon each other. Or maybe you're lucky enough to know somebody that's, just really hot and influential, and you collab with them. Maybe you just don't go it alone. Maybe, your stuff might be super strong and super good, but maybe it can support a musician, or maybe it supports like somebody, there's a sculptor amongst you that wants to find out why they should be in the NFT space. Maybe it supports, a fashion designer, or a poet, or anything. NFTs can be just absolutely anything. You could support a filmmaker. You could, do, I've had somebody come to me that has a graphic novel, so we're going to turn that into an NFT. And there's just different kind of tips and tricks and things to turn it into an NFT and make it a you know a cool experience. Well, so think about it in those terms, and then maybe run it by somebody. I'm happy to talk to people and say, hey, how can we help you pull together a series or a collection. If you just don't have like this one immensely rare and exciting project to sell, how can we create a collection that people want to buy? How do you create a series? Are you going to sell it all at once, or are you going to sell it on multiple days or over multiple months or even multiple years? So, those are the kinds of things that you need to start thinking about when you're going to get into the NFT space. And people were coming up with all kinds of crazy, just kind of nutty ideas. Probably stay away from what everybody else is doing. Find your own lane. Don't try to replicate what someone else is doing. You can kind of replicate the process, and but don't try to, we have enough crypto punks, we got enough apes, we got enough monkeys, there are enough cats running around. Think of it that way. Yeah, maybe you create the next meme. Maybe you create, maybe you are that next 10K project, which is the crypto punks fall into that, because it's the generative art with the multiple, faces, if you will, or but maybe or maybe you're lucky enough to hook up with a Nas, or I work with quite a few pretty cool artists. And we're remixing some of their projects, bringing them to life in a different way, both digital and physical, and tap in onto that some kind of experience or a digital concert, or just kind of be as creative as you want to be. There's no right or wrong way to do it. You know what I'm saying? So where NFTs, are the great equalizer. They're also just a means for you to be even more creative than you were before. There are no boundaries. Hello?
Lila, I just want to jump in real quick because we're getting some questions in the chat. And one thing I'm seeing is there are a couple of people on the call that want to get just a little more clarity on what exactly is an NFT. And then as a follow-up, like what makes it rare or what makes it valuable?
Okay, so NFT is a non-fungible token. It's created on the blockchain. And the blockchain is the same space where they create cryptocurrency. So your NFT, if you will, that token, that non-fungible token that can't be replicated, that can't be changed, that can't be, snatched from you, and all that sort of thing, is replicated on the blockchain. So I'm trying not to be, technically, we could go down a very deep rabbit hole talking about, how it all works, but that's an NFT is a non-fungible token, and a sort of a digital asset that sits in the digital world, in the metaverse. So it's not, you can't touch it physically. Well, you can see it, you can hear it, you can look at it, you can share it, you can show other people. You can't physically touch it. So that's, I think that's the best way for me to kind of explain to people. And I've had to I'm doing a whole, I'm set to do NFTs for the Negro Leagues. And most of those people, are no longer with us, but, their families run their estates, and a lot of those people are older. so trying to explain to them, the whole digital world and how's this, well, I can't touch it, I can't see it, where does it, so that whole, it's just not, it's not tangible, if you will. And what was the follow-up question? So what is
The
it not?
fo-
What is an NFT? And then
And then just what makes it rare or valuable? And then I'm seeing another one
well, what
is,
makes it rare or valuable? Well, it could be, based on the artist's popularity. It could be based on, maybe you got hold of some unreleased or never before seen Picasso. Maybe you got hold of some never before seen, Basquiat, whatever. So, or you happen to, um, be associated with somebody that's famous and influential, and you will have this sort of collaborative effort, and you put this thing together. Um, you know, art is subjective. Valuation can be a little subjective too. And it just really, um, you know, it's kind of tough. It that boils down to people asking, well, how do you price the NFTs? And, do you make them, $2, or you make them, make something, $69 million? It's just, a lot of it comes with, fear of missing out. How, I got a lot of money to burn, and I'm going to look cool to my friends because I spent $69 million on a flying Pop Tart that looks like a cat, or I'm cool because I bought Jack's tweet. It just, a lot of it is, perceived value, as opposed to, you know who's to say that that flying cat is no less valuable than a drawing I made when I was 6 years old and won a contest with. It just all depends, and you have to sort of create that value and that perception, and that comes from marketing and promotion, and sometimes just pure bullshitting people. you know that's just the bottom line.
that's great, thank you. And kind of on that, and I was thinking this is kind of going into the marketing idea. I know we have a lot of artists here on this call, and I'm seeing some questions about, how any tips or tricks, or like, what do I do to make my NFT or my artwork seem like more valuable? Is it about telling the story or the
Yes.
timing, or
Yeah,
how do you
it
do
really,
that?
it's about, timing. Maybe you know, and that goes for, art or anything. Or like when you release a book, or when you release a movie, or like when you evaluate, let me tell you. So when people pitch me things, I kind of evaluate it based on, the quality of it. Does it resonate with me first? And then I look at it again and say, hey, how are we gonna produce this thing? What's it gonna cost to bring this to market? And then last, I'm gonna look at it is like, okay, how am I gonna sell it? How is this going to resonate? How am I gonna sell this thing? How is it gonna resonate with, everybody in this room and, 50 million other people? So you have to look at a number of things. A book idea comes at a perfect time. Might be, it's Black History Month is coming up. So, maybe you're doing something around Martin Luther King, or you're doing something that resonates, specifically with a specific audience at a specific time. Or you can rip something from the headlines. Hey, this is, important in the news, or this is trending in the news. And so I'm going to do something that I can piggyback off of. You can learn that in marketing too. Again, it's about, piggyback off of other people's strengths, other people's visibility, other people's power, other people's money, that kind of. So again, art is subjective. I can't say that your piece is going to be any more valuable or beautiful, or, it doesn't resonate with everybody. Maybe find a lane, find a niche that you can get into, and that you can excel in, and, and go for it. If you want to be, one-legged flying monkeys, or, whatever, think of it in that sense. And again, maybe collaborating with somebody else that has, a cool idea, and you have a cool idea, and you bring the two together, you kind of maximize your circle or your community. And who knows where it will take you. Not every NFT is going to net, millions of dollars. The average NFT, um, makes around, $400 or $500, which is not bad if you're eating Cheerios and top ramen every day, and you do a hit like that once a week. It's not bad. Or you can create NFTs, you can create art for, there are a lot of brands out here that are looking for creatives to design things for them. I work with them every day. They call, hey, and I've done work for them. So, you don't have to just think of it in terms of, hey, this is something that only I'm going to sell, or, maybe you do work for other people. And as a result, you can say, hey, I got a friend now. He designs the Bored Apes. He's got his own lane, and he's been very successful in his own lane, but he's been hesitant to put his own, collection of NFTs out. And we're talking about doing one together. But now he's doing the Bored Apes, and he's learning a lot, and he can, put that on a resume. He could say, hey, I designed the Bored Apes. Now all of a sudden, his value goes up. So, maybe you design something for, Doja Cat. I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you. I know also just here with our artist circle, we have a couple artists here, I believe, that are working on their own NFT projects or hoping to drop some NFTs soon. So I want to invite anyone on the call if they want to share a little bit about what they're doing, or even if you haven't officially started yet, would love to see if you want to share, oh, I've been thinking about this, or this is an idea I have. This community is here for you to be able to share. So I'm just going to open the floor for a second. And if anyone wants to share, feel free to just come off mute.
I guess I have sort of an idea that kind of popped in. Um, Kind of making the most out of both the process and the finished product when you're creating a project, I guess music, I guess monetizing the creation process and making those as NFTs as well, because those are behind the scenes, like backdoor access to things that resulted in what you made.
Yes. That is Amanda Sanchez. That is exactly one of the things that you should do. And yeah, you can turn all that. People like to connect. People want to understand the process. Sometimes more so than just the art. Like, hey, how did you do it? What were you thinking? Let me see
Yeah,
you.
that's a question that we've all probably been asked at one point or another when we've created something or everything we've created.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, how did you do it? What'd you do?
Yeah. How did
Where'd
you
you
do
get
it? So tell that story when you post your NFT, or when when you're thinking about it, and you're doing your synopsis, or your bullet point and your blurb. Tell the story behind the piece, or maybe it was a moment in your life. Hey, I was walking down the beach and at such and such. Whatever it is, and you can record that, and you can release that as part of your NFT drop. you know like with a song, you can release the lyrics. You can, with a picture, maybe you had early sketches or something. I have somebody now that's doing uh, pretty big in the music biz, and so he's doing a graphic novel. And so I said, hey, let's see the original sketches, the original idea, the roughs behind it. Maybe some of your original lyrics. He started in his journey in punk music as a kid. Let's see some of the pages from your journal. Once we make the graphic novel, we're going to animate some of the panels. So, it's digitized. We're going to have some audio elements. So he'll be narrating some of those pages in that story. So not only will you be able to get the digital version, like sort of the exclusive stuff, some unreleased music and things of that, but you'll also be able in the real world get the physical book, and then you can go to his book signing in the real world, and then he's probably going to do something in the metaverse. So there you have it.
Awesome. Thank you. And Amanda, you're reminding me, Amanda here was one of our Young Curators Program students from last year, and she is studying fashion. And I'm seeing some questions in the chat as well about, different kinds of mediums or what kind of art can become an NFT.
She needs to hit me up like right now today, because fashion is like the next wave. Music obviously is big, but fashion is huge. So not only are these designers looking to sell their digital versions of their lines and clothes. Um, Actually, we're putting on a fashion show, if you will, so in the metaverse, and we'll be selling not only skins, but selling e-fashion. So there's a whole big old marketplace for it. There are a lot of brands looking for cool designers, and it's just she could open up a closet and sell her fashion. She can be part of a store within the metaverse. You can sell your fashions. People wear the skins and the e-fashion in games, obviously, but on Instagram, everybody can't afford Balenciaga and Chanel like Miss Kiki. So but I still want to look cool. Look at what Nike's done. Nike's done a complete 360 on their whole business, selling shoes. So, they can be real shoes, or they can be, digital versions of shoes, whatever you may create. And, avatars need hair, avatars need, shoes to come to the cool party. So, fashion is really big, both in the real world and in the digital world. Something with Reebok and Cardi B's new shoe drop, actually. So, yeah.
Awesome, thank you. And so for other artists in all these different mediums as well, I know a question that I've been seeing a lot is, I don't do digital art, or I don't really know how to turn what my work is and put it in a digital space. So wondering if you could speak to that a little.
I would suggest, anything can be digitized. So you don't necessarily have to be a visual artist in order to take advantage of the space. Now, if you want to turn, something into something visual, in illustration, and I suggest you hook up with somebody in your group that's an illustrator that can work with you. But you can turn music, you can turn photography, you can turn physical objects, you can turn just about anything into an NFT, this non-fungible token, which is essentially a digital product. So you don't have to be a visual artist in order to thrive in the space. You can be a game developer, which probably you more than likely, may understand, 3D or 4D, programming and development. But I work with a lot of photographers, and we have a whole, all their rare photos have been are now NFTs. They're created like 52 trading cards of these you know artists. And then
Awesome.
there are different ways to take those still photos and digitize to make them, to animate them, if you will. So there are some programs, and I'm happy to, whoever can hit me up, and I can happy to share the secret sauce. Yes.
That's awesome. Thank you. I see Ki Ray has raised a hand. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question.
I just wanted to say hi. Thank you, Lila, for giving such a great explanation on what NFTs are. My name is Ki Ray. I'm an aspiring music producer and artist, and I just wanted to give an example of like what I could do as an NFT. So if, for example, legendary music or like music producers, if I wanted to put out their artistry or their lyrics as like a digitized file, would that be considered something for an NFT?
Yes.
Or would that, yeah?
Yeah. So, and actually, you should hit me up too. So work with a lot of different, musicians or artists, performing artists. And I always suggest, let's make this meaty, if you're a fan, you want, you want to connect on a different level. The rules of engagement have changed. You can no longer just put a record out and, hope that I buy it, or download it or go buy the vinyl or CD or whatever. So, give me something a little bit extra, like Nas just had this, amazing drop, but it was like unreleased songs, with an upcoming artist, just like they do the, uh, lyrical videos. You can do the same with, as an NFT. You just, record it, produce it, digitize it, upload, boom, off it goes. So, you're not, uh, that's definitely the wave of the future. And I sat in a room at a record label and explained to their artists, how do they turn their stuff into NFTs, and also physical merch, because physical merch sells quite a bit, and probably more so for most than the just the NFT itself. So create a bundle, so like as a producer, people, you may have purchased beats or you make beats, so offering beat kits and that sort of thing is big. So no, go for it, make it happen. I'll be looking.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I also want to jump in briefly because I know, and I see Janelle, I will get to your question right after this, but I know we have a bunch of people on this call that aren't artists as well and curious about what it looks like from the buyer's perspective or what the buyer's side is. If you could speak to that a little, Lila.
What do you mean? Like, what should they invest in as a buyer?
Yeah, just I guess the basics of, if I was looking to get involved in the NFT space and I wanted to buy something, how would I go about that? Where would I look? How do I determine the
Again, I mean, there's specific, there are outlets, or if you, kind of like catalogs, if you will, or outlets, there more and more marketplaces are, featuring the different art, or, they send you these, newsletters that send you, from auction house so-and-so, this is, these are our drops that are coming, which is actually a kind of cool business for you all to get into. But so, and word of mouth. There are different newsletters you might get. I get Rareable, I get Super Rare, I get it's like NFT Tonight or NFT Evening or whatever. So it lets me know, what's coming out, what's good, what to look for. Yeah, there, some, just like any collector, you want to look at, what is the intrinsic value of it. And, if I'm going to, keep it just because, I want to, add to my collection. And, I just like art and I like these things and I just like having cool stuff. Or am I looking at it because I want to trade it and make some money? That's
Awesome.
different than just being a collector. Maybe you're just a trader, and you just want to, make money. So, you have to look at how rare it is, may be valued at, who is it from, and that sort of thing. Like those
Right.
Top Shot, like the sports ones, those go, really well.
Right.
And
Totally.
unreleased stuff, um, rare things,
Mhm.
somebody attached to it.
Awesome. And so I'm just seeing some questions from folks as well. So imagine like I know absolutely nothing about it. How do I actually take my cash, take my money and turn it into an NFT? Or how do I
Oh, so
come
you
to
have
that?
to, so you have to, you buy some Ethereum. Most of this stuff most NFTs are built on Ethereum blockchain. So you have to open up a a wallet, crypto wallet. So, MetaMask is probably most popular. There are different wallets. You go and you open up you know, or you can go on crypto.com, or you can go on, MetaMask, and just like an exchange, like going to buy, a sandwich. You put your money in, or like when you do foreign exchange, like you're traveling, and you put your currency in. Some of them will take your credit card, or cash, or however you're going to pay, and then that gets turned into Ethereum, and now you have a crypto wallet. And once you or go to a marketplace when you're about to mint your NFT, you have to connect your wallet to that particular marketplace. And so in order for you to get paid, it's just like giving somebody your debit card information or your credit card information, or they're wiring something back into your account, or your PayPal, or whatever you're going to pay, but usually it just goes to a card. And then that's how you get paid, or that's how you pay to mint your NFT. Now, you don't necessarily have to, on some of these marketplaces, you don't have to pay their fees in order to mint your NFT, your token. So those are called gas fees. And those fees are essentially pay the miners that build your token, that dig through all of this, you know, tech stuff, or, um, coding to create that token. So that's what you're paying for, and is gas fees. But you can do what they call lazy minting. So you throw those fees are thrown back to the buyer. So it's as a so you can still have your NFT posted and featured, and if it's purchased, then the buyer absorbs those fees to have had that NFT minted, and it may not be minted until somebody buys it, which is kind of cool for you as a somebody that's never done this before. It kind of takes the sting out of it not selling, and not you spent, $70, $300 to mint this thing, and nobody buys it. Now you're feeling a sting. But if you just, post it, they don't charge you any fees, blah, 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 blah. They send the fees back to the buyer. Then it's a easier pill to swallow. So that's kind of,
Right. Mhm.
I can go into more detail if you ever, like, again, if you want to call me, I can go into more detail.
Mhm.
But
Thank
that's kind of
you.
the nuts and bolts of it.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I see I see a couple questions on the chat I want to get to in our last couple of minutes,
Yep.
but Janelle, I know you've been raising your hand for a little while, so if you want to jump in with a question, feel free.
Okay, hello everybody. Okay, so hopefully you can hear me. I'm out and about. But you were talking about minting. So Ethereum, yes, she's absolutely right. Ethereum is usually the currency. Oh, do I have it turned around? It's actually the cryptocurrency that most things are minted on OpenSea.
Yes.
But there's also a third-party one called Polygon,
Yes.
and it's a little bit cheaper to mint your NFT.
Yeah, but you have to,
Um,
but the
so
Polygon, yes, it's a little cheaper, but the blockchain that is not an open access platform. So you have to, usually they, a lot of that stuff is minted on Flow, and you have to be invited to that particular uh, platform. So,
Okay. Okay.
OpenSea is, OpenSea, and it's the most successful of all of the platforms or marketplaces. Um, but yeah, Polygon is cheaper, and there are other places that are cheaper. Um, it just, the barrier to entry may be a little difficult for you. So.
Gotcha. As far as the marketplace might not be as robust as some of the other marketplaces, what you're saying. I got it.
Yeah, may
And
not be
then
as robust, but also may not, you have to jump through hoops. You have to be they're very careful about who they allow on the blockchain. They curate and vet everybody that wants to come on and sell their NFTs.
okay. And then another thing that you were talking about was about how to make your piece like valuable, like, and so I learned about a triangle between the partners who were like the creators of it, and then the community surrounding around it, and then the utility attached to it.
Yeah.
So those, and by those two things, the person who made it, your personal brand or help promote it. So who are you connected to, or your team connected to? And then people find out about that through the community. And one resource that a lot of people who are actually in crypto is a website called Discord. And those are
Discord. Yeah, you can help create your community there. You can be on social. However you now gather your tribe, so to speak, or your followers, and what your circle of influence is. Discord is
right.
a place to be. Twitter is very popular. Reddit. Those are probably the three most NFT rich communities. But however, wherever
Right.
you get get your tribe from, go for it. I strongly suggest that you just not be on OpenSea or whatever that marketplace is. I strongly suggest that you have your own platform, your own website, even if it's just one page or whatever you're doing. Then people, you can drive them there. And now it turns out now Shopify.
Oh, that's a good idea. Like, can go ahead and do your own branding for it.
Yes. Yes.
And then the last thing was talking about utilities. So I don't know if you covered it because I'm in and out of the space. But utility is basically the function you can attach to what you do. So one of the things that is popular NFT that gives access to, hold on a second, and gives access to different events and different kind of products. So you might be able to diversify what you are offering by offering some kind of utility with it.
Well, yeah, you don't think about just as a, So you want to make it, more robust. And so, kind of like Gary V, his NFTs, you buy into his NFTs. One of the things that you get is you get to have a one-on-one with him, and then you also get to come to one of his, VCons, or one of his conventions or whatever. So that's what I think I mentioned earlier about creating that bundle and creating something that also you can have in the physical world. People love the NFTs, people love the digital space, but it's hard to kind of show off your NFTs on your phone, or unless you have a Samsung TV or a digital screen or something like that, or they're coming to your house. It's kind of hard to show, or you don't want to direct them to your wallet to see your entire collection, but you still want a piece of that. You want a piece of Tom Brady, aside from that Top Shot that you purchased. Maybe I want some kind of autograph piece, or maybe I want a t-shirt, or want an actual experience with him. So that is, I'm sorry if I forget your name. That's the utility, or that's the kind of bundling of the NFT, which really helps
Right.
drive the sales of them more so than just me buying the non-tangible piece.
Thank you, Lila, and thank you, Janelle, for that question. We are running out of time very quickly. I do want to say we will definitely be continuing this conversation with a follow-up. We'll schedule another event next month, bringing in a bunch of amazing speakers. Thank you so much, Lila, for being here with us. We want to continue making this a space of learning about this topic, and we'll definitely, I'm gathering all of these questions from the chat. We'll send them out in our newsletter to everyone
to me,
connect.
and make sure that they put their contact information, and I promise that I will follow up with everybody, and then I'll even give them some of my cheat sheets, whatever. Give them a little secret sauce.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. Thank you so much for being here. Again,
you.
yes, these
Appreciate it.
questions, everything
Bye
in the chat.
So stop it.
Yes. Let me see here. Yeah, everything everyone's sending in the chat. Thank you all for being such amazing participants. These are really important questions. We'll definitely get them answered. Thank you, Lila, for that as well. And really quickly, while everyone is getting ready to head out and enjoy their Sunday afternoon, I'm just going to kick things back to Deja to just do some little wrap up recap announcements and wish everyone a great rest of their day. So let me just share my screen here, and Deja can take it away. Just one moment.
Thank you all. Let's say thank you. Thank you all. Love you.
Thank you so much for such an amazing talk. So I hope everybody got some great takeaways from this informative conversation. As we wrap up, I just want to remind everybody that TFA does have a new merch site. So please go get your TFA merch and show your love with our community. We also have, again, the Young Curators Program, where the applications close on January 23rd. So again, if you yourself or you have young creatives, young artists that are interested or you think would benefit from this opportunity, please send them our way and have them apply before the deadline. Next Sunday, January 23rd, our next artist circle is called New Year, Same Me. So please come out again and join us in conversation. We'd love to have you. We love having you all in this space. To RSVP for our upcoming events, you can find all of that in our Instagram bios and the Linktree accounts. And again, if you want the free gifts, the freebies from this session or our previous ones, please drop Maggie a line at her email, maggie@tfapopup2021.com, and we will be sure to get all of that amazing information to you. Thank you all and happy Sunday.
Thank you. And just briefly, I'm seeing the question, K.I. Ray. Yes, our program is virtual with opportunities to show in person once in June and once in December. That's the Young Curators Program.
Thank you again so much. I learned so much today, so I'm excited for the next session. I'll be seeing you guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday.
Thank you, Lila. Thank you.
Thank you, Lila.